Saturn in the ninth house. So Saturn ninth house, my friends, is a placement of Saturn that is tough early on in life. Early on in life, it can be very tough because you don't really have anybody to guide you, or the people that are there to guide you can be very strict, can be very difficult, very rigid. But later on in life, that's a very good blueprint for how not to be a teacher, because you're meant to be a teacher, you're meant to teach. And the fact that so early you have been able to experience, you have been able to go through how teaching should not be, how guidance should not be, or what is lacking, that enriches you as an individual, that makes you a lifelong student. See, Saturn, wherever Saturn's in your chart, that is where you have the most karma. Now, what do I mean by karma here? Because every planet, wherever it is in your chart, essentially it is showing some aspect of evolution of your soul that is still keeping you stuck in this material plane. Otherwise, why the hell are you here, right? You are here on this material plane because there is something that you are meant to accomplish and complete, some boxes that you're meant to check off so that you can attain moksha. Now, Saturn, wherever he is, he's going to tell you that, look, this is where you are meant to have the most struggles. This is where you are meant to have the most difficulties, because this is where you are meant to work hard the most. Okay? Now, what happens is, in a true Saturnian overcompensation form, most of us end up strongest in the areas where we have our Saturn. I mean, we can have other yogas that we're blessed by and everything. That is all cool. That is all great. It's still going to give its effect, because if a good yoga is there, it's still going to give you its effects no matter what. It will happen on its own. But wherever you have Saturn, over there, through your hard work, through your resiliency, through your consistency, through your attention to detail, there is a real opportunity for you to bring out something to the world that wasn't. Okay? Now, when you have Saturn in the ninth, you're a lifelong student, because you meant to share a lot about teaching, about some subjects could be there that are close to your heart, that you're naturally good at, or some subjects that you naturally align with. Saturn in ninth house can just as easily represent a person's struggle to get their PhD and finally be recognized in academia as it can represent an artist's struggle, to bring a new book or a new script into the world. A new way of doing things, that will be Saturn 5th. We're going to talk about that in the Saturn 5th video. But ninth house is a very important house in the chart, because ninth house is the house of Bhagya. It's the house of your fortune. Now, often you go to these, I mean, with due respect, these traditional priests and pandits, and they're going to tell you, oh, you have Saturn in ninth house, oh, you have Pitri dosh in your chart. Nothing good will happen in your life, at least till the age of 35. Do this puja, do that puja, do this thing, do that thing. This can be bad for your dad. You are bhari, you are bad for your dad, and things of that sort. None of that's just a very good example of what Saturn in ninth can be like. Not really ever having the right guidance when you want it, when you need it. See, Saturn in ninth just represents that this is where you're meant to struggle. It doesn't mean that, just by you, virtue of being you, you are going to be bad for your father or something like that. Your father could very well, be in the army and be away a lot. That can be Saturn in ninth. Your father could very well just be a rigid man himself. Or you may encounter a lot of rigid, paternal sort of figures in your life, authority figures in your life. Okay, that can very well be the case. But understand the energy here. When you have Saturn in the ninth, the reason that it's called Pitri dosh, the reason that Saturn in ninth quite often can show loss of job, because it's 12th from the 10th, can often show struggles in life and difficulties, is because quite often Saturn in ninth house individuals are trying to accomplish something. They're trying to bring a thought into the world. They're trying to do something. They're trying to build something. that is not there, or at least not in its best form. Saturn in ninth house individual tries to integrate into the world, tries to do things the way that people have done it. And then after a while they realize, you know what? A lot of things that we're taught, they don't really work out the way that we're taught that they do. Why don't they work out that way again? I want to fix this. I don't know. I want to be in government. I want to fix this. I want to be in academia. I want to fix this. I want to fix this. How the hell? What the hell, man? How can you just do things like this? You're teaching us something else and you're doing something else. This is not fair. This feeling of unfairness weighs so heavily on Saturn in ninth house individuals' minds that it pretty much shapes their entire dealings with others, their skills, their beliefs, the religion in fact they choose or choose to reject, right? Their relationship with work and the downtrodden people in society. Why? Because from the ninth house, Saturn looks at the 11th house of how you earn your bread, your money, your gains, your friends, your network circles, awards. Saturn changes your perspective towards these things. He brings a lot of reality that, look, this is the reality. You need allies. You need people to work with. This is the kind of, crap that goes down in the universe, in the world. Not really in the universe. Let's leave the universe alone right now. Okay, we're just talking about the material plane. Okay, and so you realize that, okay, that's how it works. Saturn looks at the third house from its seventh drishti, 7 places away. In the third house, you start realizing, okay, if there is this gap, if there is this imbalance that occurs in what is being shared and what is required, what we quite often don't have guidance for, what we quite often, don't have the luck for also in life. Not all of us are born, with equal opportunity. You can say we're all equal as individuals, but we don't have equal opportunity. And for some people, just to get equal opportunity, they have to toil hard their entire life. And so in the third house, with Saturn looking at the third from the ninth, you start building a very specific set of skills that can function for you, that can work for you, on the basis of which you start running your life. Okay? And then when this Saturn looks at the sixth house from its 10th drishti, that is where your perspective changes about work, about struggle, about debts, about people who have less than you, about what it really means to be healthy, all sorts of things like that. So Saturn in the ninth house essentially is here to make you a scholar, is here to make you a sort of lawmaker, is here to make you the old wise man of the society, or old wise person, the leader, so to speak, the guide, the guru, I would say, irrespective of whether you're a man, woman, what you identify as. Saturn here, in a proverbial form, builds you into somebody like the hermit. Not about living alone part, you can be okay with that as well. You will realize that also as an important aspect of life, that sometimes to stand with the truth, you have to stand alone. So Saturn in ninth house people can become very picky when it comes to the people that they hang out with, or the people that they make friends with. Okay, that is quite often the case. But one very big thing that happens here is that when you have Saturn in ninth, if you work very hard to bring something out to the world, whatever it is, it could be a podcast, it could be a book, it could be publishing a thesis. When you work very hard to bring something out to the world, and quite often you will have to, because Saturn is going to keep pushing you to make it better and better and improve it and improve it. There's so much critical voice inside your mind about the legitimacy of your ideas, etc., that you want to bring to the world, even with the best intentions. Saturn's going to make you go through all of that. But when you go through the process, on the other side, you end up bringing something to the world that truly fills a void. You end up sharing something with the world that truly was needed, that truly was required. When you have Saturn in ninth house, my friend, don't let anybody tell you that you're unlucky. Don't let anybody tell you that you are meant to be, this way where things happen slowly for you, where you have to struggle and all of that and everything. No. What you have to focus on with Saturn in the ninth is how much of what I truly believe have I shared, have I practiced, have I internalized? How much of what I truly believe have I been able to seek, have I been able to learn, have I been able to expand in the world? Saturn in ninth house shows that in previous lifetimes, you were probably in some kind of a role, or you were in whatever capacity serving a role in society where you either did not get to share your beliefs with the world, or you did not stick with your beliefs. You abandoned them as per your convenience. And so this lifetime opens up a whole Pandora's box. It opens up a whole journey about you having to discover what you truly believe in, about you having to go through, learn, work hard for this knowledge that you truly believe in, that you truly needed, that you truly realize is needed in the world. And once you've done that, then the rest of your journey is about sharing it with the world. The rest of your journey is about being the change that you want to see. Okay? So Saturn ninth house individuals, I've seen, they can be very scholarly, they can be very intelligent, they can be very hardworking. But if you truly want to shine and this placement's not working out for you, because it quite often cannot, work out for some people, because I don't want to say it, I'm just saying that there is a possibility that you're a bit too rigid or a bit too flaky when it comes to, I'm sorry, with due respect, with what your core beliefs are. So what you really have to do here, if you have Saturn in ninth, is that you have to commit to becoming a lifelong student. Become humble about what you know first. Become humble about learning. Once you imbibe that quality within you, and this Saturn can be made especially bad if you have Rahu there, my God, then it's very tough. But I digress. If you just become humble about the process of learning and about what you know, you are very humbly and automatically going to walk to a point in your life where you are regarded, where you are respected, where you are revered for your knowledge, for your wisdom, for your ideas, for your insights. That, my dear Saturn in ninth house individuals, is what your life purpose and destiny is if you have Saturn in the ninth. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you can share best all the wonderful content that I post here, and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. By the way, more than 100 days of posting every single day in 2025. I came live on the first day of this year and I made a commitment. I said I'm going to make a video every single day. So God's grace, more than 100 days, every single day I've made a video this year. Do check all my videos out. Thank you so much for the love and affection. If you want a personal session with me, or if you want to find out about my Astro Life Coaching Practitioner Program, it's a course, where I actually teach you Astro Life Coaching and how to apply it to build your own coaching practice or to guide others, If you want to check any of that out, the links are given below. You can check them out, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Hari Om.